Good Sunday morning to you. I've actually been awake for the past, I think probably it's been going on 3.5 hours now, just because we had a really big crack of lightning outside and it woke me up. It even woke up my dog because he jumped up and startled the hell out of me too. So it's been a hell of a night. But hello, good morning to you. I hope you are having a great Sunday if you are watching this just before you're going to church, or if you're watching this after you're going to church, because I'm assuming that there's a good portion of people who are going to church today. If you are not, that is absolutely fine. I hope your Sunday is going well nonetheless. I wanted to talk this morning, just kind of letting you guys know just kind of how I'm feeling. I've been actually enjoying making these videos. Unfortunately, I'm still really bad about just going full straight away into the camera. I'm not a streamer, so I can't just sit and look at a camera without having cuts or anything in the video. So if there are a few cuts, it is what it is. I'm just not really good at doing like one take stuff. That's why this is the second take that I'm doing this video. I wanted to kind of rip the band-aid off of me playing video games and me doing some content that I had been used to doing in the past, and just kind of, maybe shift into something that I'm actually more interested in, and apparently, according to other people, I'm actually kind of good at, compared to just playing video games all the time, because that's just an overused genre of content that everyone likes to do. And I understand it to a certain degree. There are people who follow me, or there's people who I try to support or, check out and stuff like that, and kind of see what they're up to and whatnot. And sometimes they do gaming, and other people used to like me doing gaming. There's a lot of people who are still really interested in the genre of doing gaming content. I'm just not one of those people anymore. I have tried so many times to play a video game. Like, I even just played RuneScape recently because I thought that I would want to play it. And even that one, like, I just got so bored with it already. I don't understand, like, maybe it's just because I'm getting older. Maybe it's just because, gaming has just not really been something that's been in the back of my mind anymore. I have no idea. But it has just been a struggle for me to really want to do gaming content. And I think at this point, I just need to quit forcing myself to try and do it and just focus on other things. About 10 years ago, I was kind of feeling this exact same way too, because whenever I was in school, I was always wanting to do gaming content. I got out of school, I started kind of dialing away from the gaming content. I was more or less just wanting to do other things, be a little more active. I know that's kind of hard to believe right now, but I got that feeling that I didn't really want to do gaming content. And then whenever I finally had the chance to have a PC that was able to do gaming content, that's whenever I really wanted to go headstrong into making gaming videos, because it's like, well, everyone else was doing it. And during the pandemic, I actually had a computer that I could do some of that stuff with. So I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. It didn't really take off then either. I mean, I can't really see why. No, I know why. It's because, for one, I was a small channel, and for two, I'm just not that interesting whenever it comes to gaming content, because it's just, you really have to play up so much with it in order to keep people's attention. All you're essentially doing is just getting into a game, and then you're playing the game, and then you have to make funny little commentary and stuff like that throughout the game. And I think it's just overused at this point. I mean, I could see why people do streams of it, because you could get on there and you could talk with your chat and stuff like that, but I'm also not really a big live streamer, which I am going to touch on that here in just a little bit, but I'm just not interested in the gaming concept anymore. Now, I do say that if you guys have content creators who do still post gaming videos and stuff, I do think that you should still support them. I'm not going to tell anyone that you shouldn't support gaming creators just because that I don't really like gaming content anymore. In fact, like I said, I still do support quite a bit of creators who do gaming content, but it's not really something that I watch all the time. I have other things that I gotta do, and there's other things that interest me now, and gaming is just not my thing. So if I happen to have someone who I am subscribed to, or someone who I try to help out and I want to try to push a little bit more of subscribers over to them, or push some followers over to their like Kick channel or their Twitch channel or whatever, then I'll try to post it in community post every now and again. On to live streaming. I have really thought about live streaming, and unfortunately, I don't really think that YouTube is much of the place for live streaming like I thought it was going to be. I have really wanted to do live streams over here, but for one, I'm very inconsistent with them because, well, I have other things to do besides sitting on the computer all day. I know it's crazy to hear that, but I have other things that I got to do during the day. So I can't really get onto a YouTube live stream as often as I would like. So what I have been thinking about doing is I do want to try to do some live streaming. Maybe I can schedule a timeout so that way I can actually do the live streams and stuff. But I don't really think that I want to do YouTube right now until I kind of get a little bit of a better niche and a better content strategy going on over here. I have been playing around with the idea on streaming over on Kick. I know that a lot of people don't like Kick, and I know that there's quite a bit of people who probably follow me over here who would either have me or want me to stream on YouTube, or they would want me to stream on Twitch as an alternative. Well, I'm trying to redo the content strategy that I'm doing over here on YouTube, so I kind of want to refrain from doing streams over here on YouTube, and I don't like Twitch. So I refuse to go over there to Twitch. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if people say, oh, well, that's just a stupid take to have on it. I don't like Twitch. There's multiple reasons why I don't like Twitch. And no, I'm not referring to anything that's going on right now. It's just I have not had a liking for Twitch for a very long time. So I don't want to go over there. I do want to try to play around with the idea on doing a Kick stream. I don't think I want to start it right away because I am about to have family come up and hang out with me and the family that I have here for at least a week, and so I want to focus on that, and then after the family is gone and then we're kind of back to content as usual, then maybe I'll play around with the idea. But I don't want to take up too much of the time that I do have with the family that I don't ever get to see or don't get to see as often streaming. It's just, it doesn't feel right to me to do that. That's also why I'm planning on taking a break, which we will talk about that at a later date. But yeah, I am thinking about trying to branch out a little bit. I also think that it would be good for me to branch out instead of just sitting on YouTube all day. I mean, yeah, I'm growing on YouTube, but I don't really care to do TikToks. I don't really care to do a lot of the short form content anymore. Sometimes I do it from my phone, but it's just like a quick, hey, I want to say this real quick and then move on. But I don't want to do TikTok. I don't like Twitch. The only place that seems worthwhile for me to try to grow on a different platform would be Kick. I mean, I could go to Rumble, but I mean, who uses Rumble at this point? I mean, come on, let's get real here. Now, on to the next part. This may be the final part as well. I don't think there's much else that I wanted to talk about for the Sunday, but yeah, I wanted to add this in here. I did make a community post talking about that I have a Google Doc, which I will try to leave a link in the description for the Google Doc down below. There have been a lot of people who have come in there, and I kind of had an idea. I'm not stupid. I mean, I do know that there were people who were under the age of 18, possibly 13 to 17, and I've seen my analytics. There are 13 to 17-year-olds, a small percentage, but a percentage nonetheless that would watch this channel. And I think I do know why. I mean, I'm 99% sure I know why. It's because that a lot of these animations that I watch, specifically Skibidi Toilet, I know I've brought it up multiple times, but hey, at least I'm not hiding the fact that I have watched it or I have consumed any of the content. I've watched Skibidi Toilet. There's somehow, and I've checked my analytics, people from the 18 to 35 range have watched those videos, and I'm like, okay, I mean, you do you. But I also do know that there is a small percentage of people who are under the age of 18 that watch that content as well. And then if you've been on the internet as long as I have, you do know that people can lie about their age and say that they are much older than what they actually are. I know that there's a lot of age verification stuff that's happening right now, and so it's a little bit harder for people to lie about that, but people still do lie about it. And people still try to pretend that they're much older because they still want to be able to watch certain content creators because, well, they don't want to get purged by the YouTube algorithm, or that they don't want to be seen as like younger than what they actually are. But I am wanting to change that because at this point, I'm too old for that shit. And I think that a lot of people will not understand it, or at least the younger audience, people who are younger than me. I am 30 years old. People who are younger than me aren't really going to pay attention to that until they get to a certain age. I just do not see the fun with it anymore. I have said before, whenever it comes to Skibidi Toilet, I'm not saying that it's a bad series. I see why there is some hype around it. I get that people do like it. I do not like consuming that content as much as everybody else does. And the reason why that I post most of the content, it's kind of half and half, but more on the side of I make money from it. A lot of people view it, and I make money from it, so I milk the hell out of it. Sorry to disappoint you guys if you're disappointed by that, but I have said it before. I'm making money off of it, so it's just like, why not make the content? Whenever people come over and they watch me react to it and stuff, for one, I still don't know why people watch me react to it. That's kind of crazy. Maybe it's just because that they're happy someone else likes it, and it's like, okay, well, that's fine. I don't always pay attention to the storyline, or I don't always keep up with the storyline. I have to do so much research beforehand, and whenever I ask certain questions about it, I get essays in my comment section telling me about what it is that I missed with the previous episodes, or what it is that I should be keeping track on with the previous episodes leading up to the current one. And I'm like, you know, it is kind of good that people keep up with it and people do see that content and they like really, you know, power through and keep up with the lore and stuff like that. But I do think that if people would take the time out of their day to use that same energy that they use to make the 3-paragraph essays on what's going on with Skibidi Toilet and all the characters in it and stuff, if they would project that same energy into real life stuff, then that would be great. I'm sure that there's a lot of people who are still in school who watch those reactions, and so the only thing I think of whenever they make those multi-paragraph essays in the comment section is, so you can take the time out to do this? Are you doing this with your schoolwork? It's kind of crazy to me that people are like really into that lore, but then whenever it comes to regular in real life stuff, they don't really use that same energy to kind of get their jobs done or get their schoolwork done or whatever. I do think that it is time for me to hang up the Skibidi Toilet hat. I do appreciate everyone who has come over and watched it and has enjoyed the reactions with it. But at this point, I'm pretty well done with it. I think that the people who are really big fans of the episodes and, you know, big fans of the series and stuff, I think what they're doing is great. It has brought out a lot of creativity. It has brought out a lot of great channels that have been coming out there, a lot of great fan channels that have been making a lot of content around Skibidi Toilet. I think that it is kind of good to a certain extent for society. I'm not really into that craze of it anymore. I'm 30 years old. I don't need to be consuming Generation Z, Generation Alpha brain rot. There's other things that are going on in my life and other things going on in the world that I would much rather pay attention to than Skibidi Toilet. So, Skibidi Toilet is, I think at this point, going to be done. I also kind of stuck around with it just because that Skibidi Toilet is just a powerhouse for views. And I think that at this point, I'm kind of good with just doing videos that I'm actually happy with and videos that I feel like can contribute the same type of entertainment value that I could with Skibidi Toilet, because all I was doing with Skibidi Toilet was just being like, oh, wow, oh my god, that's crazy. And like, I could do that with any other video. And the views translate in certain videos that I do compared to that of Skibidi Toilet. And I've been liking watching other videos, which some people like and don't like me watching certain videos, like the body cam videos. I actually really enjoy watching those. And I do listen to other cops and stuff. Like I watch Donut Operator. I know he's a retired cop now, but he has quite a bit of knowledge on a lot of that stuff. And so I've listened to him. I've listened to my grandfather, who is a retired cop, and I've watched a lot of body cam videos, and I've kind of learned quite a bit about law stuff and what to do and what not to do, whether it's on the law enforcement side or the civilian side. So it's just something that I'm more interested in taking a look at instead of just doing the norm. If you guys want to post to my Google document, usually whenever it comes to video reactions and stuff, which I guess I'm going to be doing a lot more of those on, put it in the Google document. Please put your username, because if I get sent like Roblox crap or just little kid animations or whatever, then I'm going to kind of question your motives and kind of question who it is that's uploading that stuff. And there's a very good chance that that stuff is going to get ignored and be put in the null and void pile, because I just don't want to react to a lot of that stuff anymore. I don't care. I'm standing firm for not promoting anything Roblox related. I still stand pretty firm on just not doing much of gaming content anymore. And I'm standing pretty firm on not doing these kitty animation videos anymore. There are some animations like Dungeon Soup. Dungeon Soup has more adult themes in their animations, and I'm starting to realize that I did miss out on quite a bit of stuff, so I will be reacting to that more as well. But whenever it comes to like the really silly like brainlet animations, brain rot animations, I'm just not going to do it anymore. If you enjoy the brain rot, that's absolutely fine, but this channel's not going to be for you. I hope you guys still stick around for the ride. Also, these little sit-down talks, I've been kind of enjoying them too, because I know a lot of people have been like asking me questions, or like they'll talk to me about stuff, and I kind of stay reserved just because I'm not as social as what people may think. I know I talk to a camera, but believe me, it's a lot easier to talk to a camera than it is to talk to people. So it is a little easier for me to talk to the camera and be able to share these thoughts with you guys. In fact, this is already a longer video than what I expected. I want to do stuff that pertains more to my age and not to an age group that is way too young. Like, if you're under the age of 18, you don't belong here. You need to go away. And I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not. You need to go away. I'm too old for you. Go away. Get off my shit. Bye-bye. I hope you guys have a great Sunday. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope your week coming up is going to be good. I'm going to try to focus on getting some more content out. I think I'm probably going to be starting my break here pretty soon. Just because that I want to have a little bit of time to just spend with the family, focus on work, getting my bills taken care of and stuff. And, you know, just kind of enjoying some things outside of the computer, which I do think still that people need to enjoy some things outside of the computer more. I think that people are still chronically online, and I know I've kind of played into that a little bit, and I definitely want to change that. So I still do think that it is beneficial for everyone to go outside and touch some grass, spend some time with your families. I do kind of still want to do a camping video. Actually, I don't even think that I mentioned anything about this. I wanted to do a camping video, but I've been kind of held back from that for a while because other things keep coming up. But I would like to at least do that sometime in the fall after my family ends up leaving again. So maybe in October I could possibly do that. I don't know, but we'll have to see. But yeah, either way, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I hope your week goes well. And yeah, I'm going to try to work on getting some more content ready for you guys tomorrow. I don't know exactly what it's going to be yet, but I do know that I have to work today. And I also do know that my YouTube boss, the guy that I have been doing edits for his YouTube videos on, he is going to be sending me some content here pretty soon, so I will also need to focus on that. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to be coming out with this week, but we'll just have to wait and see. I hope you guys have a good one, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.